Hello wonderful people, you are welcome back again to our channel. Hello wonderful people, you are welcome back again to our channel. Of course, our first GC news today is that Jesus loves you. So please, without much ado, let's quickly together hop into our second GC news. Nnamdi Kanu appears in court as trial resumes. We all know the self-acclaimed leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, the person of Nnamdi Kanu. He has appeared before the Federal High Court, Abuja, for the continuation of his trial over alleged treasonable felony charges preferred against him by the federal government of Nigeria. The IPOB leader's lead counsel, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, disclosed this to newsmen at the premises of the court. Meanwhile, there is tight security at the court in Abuja as large number of security personnel were deployed to the court premises and its surroundings to forestall all breakdown of law and order. Entrances leading to the court premises were barricaded by a combination of gun-wielding state security services (SSS) operatives, the Army, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense, and men of the Nigeria Police. At about 8:02 a.m., a heavily fortified security convoy arrived at the court premises, which appeared to be carrying Mr. Kanu himself. And as at the time of filling this report, journalists and lawyer, also litigants, were standing outside the court premises as they were denied entrance into the courts. Mr. Kanu was brought into the court premises under a heavy security convoy at exactly 8 a.m. Recall that the federal government had filed amended 7 court charges against the detained IPO leader Nnamdi Kanu. The amended charges, which were filed by the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, border on treasonable felony and Mr. Kanu's alleged involvement in acts of terrorism. Arraigned in 2016 on a 6-count criminal charge, but abandoned his trial in 2017 after his family's house was attacked. He was, however, rearrested and brought to the country to continue his trial in June this year. Kanu, who is appearing in court for the second time since his extradition in June, was wearing a white Fendi designer's cloth and was ushered into the courtroom at exactly 10 a.m. by security operatives. Meanwhile, as the trial gets on the way, journalists covering the court, although allowed entry into the court premises, were however prevented from entering the courtroom. The judiciary correspondents, in a bid to give a detailed coverage of the proceedings, had got to the court as early as 6 a.m. to ensure easy access, which has proven abortive. So this was despite the fact that the journalists had forwarded their names to the court and the Department of State Services (DSS) for coverage of the proceedings. At the last adjournment on July 27, there was altercation between the operatives of the DSS and journalists following their refusal to allow journalists access to cover the proceedings. One of the DSS operatives, whose identity could not be ascertained, had claimed that they are awaiting directives from the trial judge, Justice Binta Mutala Wako, and on how many journalists should be allowed to go in and cover the proceedings. So one of the DSS operatives who addressed journalists at the entrance of Court 2, the courtroom where the proceedings is taking place, said, "The instruction we have is that journalists should stay in their press center from where they would be screened to go into the cover to go in to cover the proceedings after getting clearance from Justice Yako, the trial, that is the trial judge. So while the trial was going on in the 5th floor, journalists were not allowed to move out of their press center at all. So, and as at the time of filing this report, no journalist has been allowed into the courtroom, despite the fact they were promised that they would be allowed to enter in once the trial judge gives approval. So aside journalists, also lawyers, with the exception of Kanu lead counsel Ifeanyi Ejiofor, were denied access into the courtroom. Also prevented from witnessing the proceedings are representatives of the Apex Igbo socio-cultural group, Ohan Eze Idigbo. The representatives were led by former governor of Anambra State, Chief Chukwuemeka Eseife. So, wonderful people, this is where we draw the curtain on today's wonderful GC news. Please do kindly hit the red subscribe button below to subscribe. For our returning subscribers, we say a very big thank you for your support so far. And also click on the rest